Oh, just got off the phone with head boss.
Yeah.
He said we only have one applicant for the job.
Oh God! And I cancelled on my anniversary with my wife for this. One applicant.
Let's hope he's good. All right.
Come in, Squire.
Hello, my name's Eric.
My name's Sam.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Eric Kilby. My name's... We want you to be a Santa Claus at our local grocery store.
I would love that. Jesus.
He's good.
Being Santa, it may seem like a little deal, but it's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Say you're working your job as Santa. Someone steps up in your grill and pulls a Glock on you. In this situation, how do you navigate this?
2 words, 5 letters. Pepper spray.
Second question is, how do you look in a Santa hat? Could you come over this side of the table, please?
I don't think I like this job.
Possibly.
I don't think I want this job.
Okay.
Please put this hat on.
Where?
Your penis. You gotta prove that you got the bravado. You gotta prove that you've got the guile, the macho, the
Stop you right
moxie.
there, Thomas. I want my salary up. Tell me what it is now.
You sell it?
Yep.
Okay. I can give you a few figures.
I want specifics.
I can give you a few figures
Where
now.
I'm walking.
I'll give you a few figures now, a few figures later.
Go.
3, 7. Now, we have another test for this job interview. It's something that I think is a fairly new method that I like to do with a lot of my employees.
Hi, Santa.
Boy.
My name is Timothy.
Tim, sit on me.
I'm 8 years old.
Come on,
Should I
Jimmy.
take off my jacket, Santa?
No.
A bit
Okie
warm.
dokie, take it off.
Mummy says that you're a good man, Santa.
Thank you.
Will you get me what I want for Christmas?
Stop that, boy. No, I will not get you exactly what you want.
Can I sit on your lap, Santa?
Yes, you can. Have you been a good boy this year?
I don't know about that,
Side.
Santa.
Jesus! Oh God! Fuck!
I've
How
been
fucking heavy are you, boy?
I've been told.
Stop
that,
it!
I've been told that I've been a naughty boy since
By whom?
this Christmas.
Now, boys, it's not on.
No sex at work.
No sex at work.
You gotta stop saying no to offers.
I don't want you two boys having sex at work. All right. 1, it's disrespectful. 2, it can turn other co-workers on. Personally. And 3,
Couldn't agree more.
the third that you must listen to is it doesn't actually fit in with what you have to do as Santa. Because what you have to do as Santa isn't sex at work. It's actually bums and tumps. Do you follow?
Here's a scenario, okay? Hot. Can you guess who this is? Anyone know who this is?
Charlie.
So we have Santa Claus, okay? Santa. That's who you'll be playing if you get this position. Now, Santa, he has not had sex in a while, so he has what we call blue balls. Now,
Wait, that's the only funny thing that's ever been said here.
Santa has a case of blue balls. So, Santa does not know what to do with his blue balls. His wife has not been making love to him, and he has no access to the internet for 5 days, so he hasn't been able to watch porn. Now, this is a...
Can he not masturbate over the elves?
He has integrity. And this is Mary Sue, okay? And she likes to buy a lot of things. We know Mary Sue. She's not worked here, but she's been a customer for many years. Mary Sue happens to have very accentuated sexual features. And Mary Sue is giving Santa a hand job. While Mary Sue's children, Tim and Rebecca, are watching. See? Here's their eyes. They are watching the hand job take place. How do we navigate this situation?
Firstly, we want to backtrack. How did Santa and Mary Sue get in this position?
Okay, so Santa has behind him set up a large amalgamation of balloons. Within these balloons is a certain substance, cum zone. Cum zone, what that does is when it's released into the air, see here's the air.
It creates a vacuum.
It creates a vacuum. The vacuum senses all vaginas in the air and it brings them into it. And one of these balloons Santa was holding and it accidentally popped, releasing cum zone into the air. Now Mary Sue, she could smell the cum zone and it was attached to Santa's right hand. Santa's hand was on his penis. And thus the hand job began. So what we need to do in this scenario is make sure our workers are not touching their erogenous zones.
How do we know that the little children didn't get infected with the cum zone?
Well, that's the thing. Here at Whole Greens, we have actually got a policy which means that children must be neutered to enter. So there is no risk of the cum zone affecting them, thus causing sexual activity to be inflicted upon them.
Could you explain what neutered is?
Santa has something called a vulva. If we have Santa...
Sorry, but isn't that a car? The Volvo.
Well, it's a brand, but that was named after Santa's genitals. If we want Santa to be a typical, hard-working, effective worker, we must snip them off. And that's what neutering is. Boss, I think that, we've had a rigorous interviewing trial and error process, and I think that we've really come to a great conclusion. This is Eric. He's a good bloke, and he understands the moral ethos of the company. We're not going to have any struggles. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.